First of all, welcome everyone to our special February program meeting of Seroptimus International of Vista, North County Inland. Hello, everyone, to see members and some wonderful guests. Today's program meeting, I, as your president, Asli Sayar, are really excited to share with you. This is celebration. We're not going through an agenda. I'm not going to tell you all the dates or the meetings coming up. This is to celebrate, because even during this horrible pandemic, the Human Trafficking Awareness Committee got together, figured out a creative new way that we could have our annual human trafficking walk, and we have turned it into a fundraising bonanza. I don't think we've ever raised this amount of money. So drum roll, please. I want to give you the total that we've raised. We raised online alone $10,153.19. We then got checks of another $1,530 for a grand total from our 30 miles and 30 days of $11,688 based on the email that I got from our treasurer. So hooray, yes. Wonderful job. This was amazing. We've never raised this much, at least since I've been around, in one event. We've raised it from all over the country. People were, donating and participating because of Facebook, because of the internet, from everywhere. And as promised, as we advertised and as we voted on, we are splitting this money between two amazing organizations. One, North County Lifeline, and we have Stephanie Gonzalez here and Melissa, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Haupt here to celebrate, and also with Alabaster Jar Project, and we have Susan Johnson here who's going to speak in just a bit too. So each of your amazing organizations will receive a check for $5,850, ladies. So it is our pleasure. We love giving money away. It's like better than giving Christmas gifts or Hanukkah gifts. It is the best thing. So ladies, pat yourself on the back. You did amazing. Jackie, who helped figure out the PR and the online, Kay and the rest of her committee. And then I saw all of you posting, sharing, getting involved, donating. So yay, you guys did an amazing job. So I do want to just check in with Kay. First, anything you want to add before I turn it over to our speakers from Alabaster Jar and North County Lifeline? Anything to add?
You bet I do.
I figured.
I just have to say to Melissa, we have yet to meet, so it's nice to meet you here.
Nice to meet you.
But I have had the privilege of meeting and spending some time with both Susan and Stephanie, and wonderful women. I think the collaborative as a whole needs to really pat itself on the back, because that opened the door for these two women and their organizations to attend. I always tell the little tale about Susan when I have the opportunity. She came to a meeting early on before anything had started for her, and she said, my dream, my goal is to open a home for survivors of human trafficking. And I'm thinking to myself, lots of luck, honey. Well, hello, look at what she's done. North County Lifeline's Project Life also sent representatives, and we talked, and I learned kind of as a surprise, in 2011, they actually launched Project Life, which is a total wraparound service as well. They've expanded now to work with various services to get housing, as they find women who are willing to, to have services. Not always so easy. So I'm just thrilled to see your faces, all of you. And it's wonderful to know that our club had a part in helping you.
Yes.
Period.
Yes, it's wonderful. So, over $5,000, almost $5,850 each. Checks are going out in the mail. So Susan Johnson from Alabaster Jar Project, I'd like to open the floor to you to tell us a little bit about your organization and where this money is going to hopefully make a tremendous impact in the lives of the people that you've been helping.
Well, first, I just want to say thank you so much.
Seroptimists, you guys are a huge part of our success. You know, it is about collaboration. It is about community. You know, even as Kay mentioned just a minute ago, the amazing community collaboration that happens, and the only way that we are actually able to get up and running was through that collaboration. And even in the early stages, we've been partners and community partners with North County Lifeline. So Melissa and Stephanie along the way. Honestly, we could not be where we are at today without that collaboration and partnership. You know, in the very beginning days, I actually was started out as a volunteer with North County Lifeline and Project Life, trained through them, and through that saying, wow, there needs to be more beds, there needs to be more housing, there needs to be more resources for awesome work like this to be done. So, you know, the organic nature of that and that the surrounding community, we've been able to open a home. We actually have a long-term housing program for survivors of trafficking, but we also employ survivors. Those are the two biggest needs in this community. So the funds are well received. We are so grateful for all of it. We are still a shoestring young organization. We've only been in existence for going on 8 years now. And we are continuing to grow. So this will help with, you know, paying our staff and making sure that the bills are paid, the rent is paid for the women in our housing program. We currently have 5 women that are doing excellent. 2 of them are already working in the community. They actually, during COVID, were able to get employment on their own accord. 1 earned her high school diploma. We've got 3 that are in, you know, college, continuing education virtually, and they're all doing really great. So we honestly could not do that without the support, and we're so grateful for it. So thank you so much.
Wow, that is amazing. That is
I would like to
amazing.
add one more thing to Susan, to her comment. Some of you know, but for those who don't, Gray's House was originally Hope House, and it was originally run by 2 wonderful nuns who, Sister Sheila and Sister, help me out.
Sister Jean.
Jean, thank you. Thank you. And when their term ended, so to speak, this is a sign of, you know, of an ecumenical movement, because the Catholic Church offered to pay the first year's rent so Susan could take over. And I just find that wonderful. So that would be the one thing that I would like all of you to know.
Well, we are just so excited to hear about the amazing work Alabaster Jar is doing, and that these women are finding work and getting their high school diploma and continuing education and really not just surviving, thriving. And that is just amazing. And so we're so happy to help in this way with these women's lives and with just the operations. We as a small club know the day-to-day operations don't come cheap. So now I'd like to turn the floor over to Stephanie Gonzalez and Melissa Haupt to talk about North County Lifeline and what's been going on there. So ladies, if you'd like to, take it away.
Come on, don't be.
Hi, everyone. So I am Stephanie Gonzalez. I'm the program manager with Project Life. And with me is Melissa Haupt, and she is the director of programs. I just want to say thank you for always thinking of us. The Seroptimists have always supported our program, and I really appreciate that we receive all around support from you all. So with North County Lifeline, our Project Life program, we serve victims of human trafficking, providing case management, and we have actually expanded to providing housing. So we have, it's amazing. I agree. We have housing where we have 12 beds, Melissa, is that correct?
So we have eight units, and depending on whether they're parenting clients or single clients, changes the number that we can house. But we've got 8 independent units.
Yeah, so we're able to house individual clients and families, which is amazing. So we've been fortunate enough to, continue to grow in our housing and our services. We also provide emergency response to law enforcement. So 15 days out of the month, we are on call to the San Diego Human Trafficking Task Force. And they give us a call at 3 a.m, and we are there to provide support to the victims, which is great.
Awesome.
You know, being able to be there when they are in crisis and at such a vulnerable time for them. So it's amazing that we're able to be there firsthand. What else do? We have therapy services. We offer in-house therapy. We do a lot of presentations out in the community, whether it be professional trainings to hospitals, doctors, or community trainings. So I know I've actually presented at one of the Seroptimus meeting. So yeah, just all kinds of different things. And I know Kay asked me to share some numbers. So in 2020, we actually served 130 clients. And in program to date, so since we started our program in 2011, we have served a total of 387 clients. And that number has actually just continued to grow because we've expanded. When I first started, I was actually the only case manager on staff, and now we have 5 case managers, a therapist. I mean, we've really grown. So it's just been great to be able to serve more clients. And with the funding that we're receiving, we are hoping to just continue to be able to support all of our clients with the emergency needs. So for example, when we head out to emergency response, a lot of the times they don't have anything. So being able to purchase clothing for them, any other basic items that they're in need of, placing them in hotels. So all of these funds are definitely going to contribute to all of that. Yeah.
And I would just like to say thank you to you all. I joined Project Life. I've been with North County Lifeline since 2012, but I joined Project Life in 2014. And at the time I started in 2014, we had a half-time case manager, and there was no funding available at the time, and our board of directors was committed to continuing to serve survivors. And so I have just been able to watch this program just grow to meet the needs of our survivors in the community. And it's through collaborations like this, through partnerships like with Grace House, Alabaster Jar, and the other great partners that we have in the community that have allowed us to grow like this, to be able to meet those needs, to be able to watch us go from a half-time case manager to being able to provide 8 independent units for housing, to be able to expand to, doing parenting for our survivors that have children or are pregnant, to make sure that they are successful in being able to safely parent. It's been really great to just watch us be able to respond to community needs, but it is a result of collaborations like this. And so we are incredibly grateful. So thank you.
Oh,
I have a question.
Just
Oh, I'm sorry.
wonderful. But go ahead, Kay, a question. Yes.
Yeah. When did you open the 8 independent units? How long have you had that?
I want to say if I'm wrong, Steph, correct me, but I think in 2016, we got some funding through the Office for Victims of Crime that allowed us to open up a couple of emergency units. And since that time, it's kind of been our pursuit to try to continue to increase housing.
Okay.
And so through funding opportunities that become available, we were able to successfully secure some funding through the California Office of Emergency Services that has supported us in transitional housing as well. And so we have just, being on call to law enforcement at 2 o'clock in the morning and saying, we have nowhere to place a survivor and nowhere safely to place a survivor, just really reinforced how few beds that we had in the county and the challenges and barriers that exist to securing housing for survivors, that's kind of been one of our missions over the last few years, is to continue to expand that.
Have you seen any men or boys?
We have. Yeah, we have.
Wow.
And the need for housing for them as well.
Sure.
So yeah.
So I have one other question. I mean, obviously money is awesome. We were so happy to raise it. We're so happy to give it. But for each of your organizations in turn, is there any other pressing need in the next 30, 60 days? Is it like we've done in the past, sock drives, or we really need toiletries right now? Just because sometimes, you know, we see a need, we fill a need, because that's what we do as a club, and we've been doing it for many years now, quite happily. We really believe in working with community partners to help women and girls. So first, for Alabaster Jar, is there any money, I know is good, but any other need that your organization sees that perhaps we can help fill?
You know, we're exhausted. I would the top of my mind is honestly self-care for staff. You know, it's the COVID has been tough for us. And like, because of the COVID measures, we've been really spread thin. And that's honestly the top of my mind. You know, and for the women, it would be nice if somebody has some sort of like, you know, Big Bear cabin or Julian little space that they'd be willing to allow us to use for a weekend retreat for either staff or the residents. That would just be lovely. I mean, we honestly are currently very blessed with we're filled to the gills with clothing donations and toiletries and all of that. So thank you so much. A large part of that was due to the walk and to the awareness that this happened this past couple months. But you know, it's just we're tired.
Yeah.
Self-care, as we and I wanted to also share with you guys you know, that a lot of our staff and our training we've gotten from North County Lifeline and their amazing team there. So, and they would say self-care is important.
They're nodding. Yes, they are.
Yeah, so that would be in the other thing I just wanted to put on your radar is we are continuing to build employment opportunities for our women and building a workforce development for the women in our housing program. We're trying to build a social enterprise. We do have some products that they are getting paid stipends currently. The idea is to try to fundraise to launch this so we can employ them with W-2 employment that's part-time. But we will be doing a soft launch of our products and little self-care kits in the end of April. So we'll send out more information about that, where maybe Seroptimus, it'll be a win-win. You can treat yourself to some amazing all-natural products and support empowering women.
That's great.
Wonderful news. And for Project Life, any immediate needs? Or, I mean, besides, you know, always funding, but
yeah, I would. And Susan, yes, we're right there with you with being tired. This COVID has taken a toll on all of us, but you're right, self-care. So I would say gift cards. Yeah, a lot of the times we, you know, there's maybe things that through our emergency funding, maybe we're not able to purchase for the clients. So gift cards for them, you know, if they're having a hard day, like, hey, you know, let's go take care of yourself. Here's maybe a $15 gift card to Target, and spend that on something that's going to make you feel good and that's going to give you, so that you can take care of yourself. And let's see what else.
Yeah, I would second that there are a lot of things, our current funding, when it comes to, they're great about providing a pot of money for emergency client needs, but it's so specific that it's food, clothing, shelter. And if it doesn't fit into those boxes, but there are a lot of things that our survivors might need that maybe don't fit into the box of food, clothing, shelter, but are imperative in their case plan or as they make progress to their own personal goals. And so I would definitely say that gift cards would be a huge help in terms of them meeting some of those needs. And I think also, just as we're talking about being really tired given the pandemic, and we had to shift to a whole new way of providing services. So while we do still have in-person services, we've had to also be selective in protecting our clients and protecting our staffing, and just minimizing exposure in the community. And so that's definitely changed for a lot of our clients. Service provision, we had to get everybody capable with electronic devices to make sure that they could stay connected with providers, and with that has also meant that we've had to shift gears in terms of how do we provide basic needs to everybody and make sure that we're keeping everybody safe. So when it came to basic needs, it meant that we were picking it up and doing a drop off on the doorstep, and giving them a text or a call when we get there so that we could do the exchange, wave to them through the window, but in an effort to keep everybody safe. But the one thing that our funders don't permit is gift cards. So the clients don't necessarily have the freedom to, and some of our clients need the transportation from us, but for many of our clients, they don't have that freedom to be able to go and do that. So I think that would be a huge help. And in terms of transportation, so to and from necessary appointments. So maybe they're connected with the Pain Free Project for acupuncture, and so they need to be able to get to those appointments. And the pandemic has definitely made it difficult in terms of how do we transport folks safely. So having gift cards for ride
Bus
share.
passes? Bus passes?
Yeah.
Yes, all of those would be incredibly helpful.
Okay.
Yeah, we've seen an increase for the need in, gas station, gas gift cards, grocery store gift cards, Uber, Lyft, Instacart. We've been using Instacart a lot.
What is
Okay.
Instacart?
That's a way to have someone personally shop for your groceries and drop them off at your door.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. So no, ladies, that's the information we wanted to know, because we as a club are always looking to see what fits with us. And we will say that we do have a great scripts program where we can buy. And so if someone wants to buy a gift card for your organization, they can buy it through us, exact same price. It can be sent to you. We make money on our fundraising, which will also potentially be sent to you as well. So it's a win-win. So if anyone is like, well, where can I buy gift cards? Direct them to us, and then we can send them right back to you. What do you think, Jackie? We could totally do that, couldn't we?
Yeah, we have the gift card program, and we get anywhere from 4% to 7% in rebates. So, and that goes into our service fund, which goes out to donate. So it's a win-win. And I take orders once a month, and we do have a link on our homepage to that program. So I will talk to our membership in the next newsletter and say, hey, if you don't want to buy gift cards for yourself, here's an idea. Buy them for Alabaster Jar and North County Lifeline. They can use them, and maybe I could push the Uber and the gas cards or whatever. Grocery.
I see a hand for Alita, and then Sherry. Alita.
I have a question. Do your clients use public transportation, the buses and the trains? So they probably have Compass cards, right?
Yes.
Okay.
To know. And Sherry, Luz.
That was one of the questions I was going to
Perfect.
say. You were saying public transit, and do they need gas cards, or do they need transit cards, like for that train that runs back and forth and whatnot?
Yeah, we get some clients that are fortunate enough to have vehicles. We get some that utilize the bus, and we've got, a need for, I would say, Uber and Lyft cards, because not always is the bus, sometimes the bus, taking a bus would take them all day to get to where they need to go, maybe down in South County for an appointment. And so I would say it's kind of a mixed bag of needs with that.
Got it. I thought I saw one other. Oh, go ahead,
Jackie,
Sherry. Sorry.
Does in our script program, is there an Uber, Lyft, or that kind of
I
thing?
believe
Is
the
it
list
available?
includes Uber. I'm not sure about Lyft. We've got like a list of 250 vendors that we can get gift cards from, and they're always changing. Sometimes people companies drop out of the program. But I know Uber is one on my list of gift cards I can order for the club.
That's a great idea.
Any other hands? I think I saw Pat, I see, yes, and
Yeah,
Lonnie.
yeah.
Pat first.
Yeah. Ladies, I just want to tell you, I am a longtime member, and how we came aware of this situation with trafficking. In the old days, the trafficked victims were being arrested as prostitutes. Okay. Catherine Manis, are you on somewhere?
Yeah, she's here.
Catherine worked with the Townsite Center in Vista, and a couple of high school kids came to her and said, you know, my friends were getting invited to parties and they're not coming home. They're using their own to recruit. So we've learned a lot since then. And she and I went to different clubs and tried to pitch this situation along with a deputy named Rick Castro, who saw the need to pursue this because it's kind of a taboo subject. No, people don't really want to know about it. Well, I have to say that I think one of the most important things that we can offer these women is a friendly face, one-on-one. I am willing to mentor. I know Sherry Lewis. Sherry, you're willing to mentor. Those of us that kind of have firsthand information, I have interacted with many trafficking victims. And once I got over the shock and the horror of it, I was able to be effective. So that is something, a mentorship type program. I don't know all the legalities, but I think a Zoom or some kind of phone call or something. I know these people are very guarded, rightfully so. But is there anything along those lines that we can offer?
We actually have several seroptimists that are volunteers with us already, and in a client-facing position where they do mentorship or you know, providing
Great.
skill sets. So we welcome it. It is an extensive training process. We require 40 hours of trauma-informed care training, much of which we're partners with North County Lifeline on. So they guided in the training for a Safe Shelter Collaborative that we're both a part of. So there is an extensive background check. There is 40 hours of training, but we do welcome, and you know, our mission is all about empowering women. And I think it's even more powerful when it's women that are empowering other women.
Right.
So we welcome it. We thank you. You can actually find out our volunteer inquiry process on our website.
Okay.
And just be forewarned, that is an extensive.
We understand. We understand. Yeah.
Marvelous, marvelous.
And it's almost, I think, like Susan spoke for us too, because our process looks almost exactly the same. And all of our volunteer information can also be found on our website as well. And then meeting with the volunteer coordinator to just kind of express what the interests would be. And then that way she can get you set up and connected, and we can begin the training.
Okay,
Perfect.
so then via the website, get the information and get the training, and you said 40 hours, and that's fine. I understand it's critical because these people have a lot of mental issues and trust issues, rightfully so. Thank you.
Lonnie.
The other
I'm sorry.
I would suggest is that as a group, if there was some sort of workshop or, you know, like one day kind of, I know that there have been some other community organizations that put together like a financial literacy workshop. And whether this be virtual or not, that may be an option, because we could join and still have our women anonymously join some sort of workshop.
Awesome. I believe one of our members has looked into that. Alita?
Yeah, we were going to do something like that
Yeah.
just before the pandemic hit. We were
Yes.
possibly going to have a day event at the Film Hub
Yeah.
location in
Yeah.
Vista. Maybe that will be resurrected in some new form post-COVID. So
I
that's
think-
wonderful to hear.
Yeah, I think we can. There's a San Diego group, a San Diego financial literacy nonprofit that give workshops. And what we were going to do is partner with them and tailor it to our specific needs, because we have women that we give cash awards to for education purposes. You probably heard of our Live Your Dream program. And that's what we were going to do. But then the pandemic came along and kind of squashed all these plans, but we haven't forgotten. So we'll get back to it.
And I
And then-
love
and then-
that. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I love that idea because I think that's where the relationships happen organically, is through that. And those are where the long lasting relationships are created. So I love that.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I just want to give a shout out, North County Bar Association that I'm part of. We're doing over the next 3 months, our basically law school for the public, learn basic civics, learn basics about how the court system works. I know a lot of the survivors have unfortunately had run-ins with the law system, but a lot of practical advice. So do keep your eyes out about that. That might be something where your attendees, because it'll be virtual, can attend anonymously and get information. And then Lonnie, I did not forget your hand. You had a question, my dear.
Well, fortunately and unfortunately, Pato already asked a question. I'm interested in how to become a volunteer and the staff and everything. So thank you so much for answering. And I think a lot of the women here will go to the website to learn more about each of your organizations. So thank you again for coming, and congrats.
Yes. Yes. So finally, I can't wait to have everyone directed to our scripts line. That's the easiest way to keep assisting these two amazing organizations. Kay, I'm sure we have plans for doing something similar next year, because my goodness, you and Jackie and everyone put this together. Just wonderful job. Any final comments, Kay, before we wrap up for the day?
I just want you to tell us again, Law School for the Masses? Is that what it was called?
Oh, there's going to be a formal name soon, but the San Diego North County Bar Association, in partnership with the San Diego Law Library up here in Vista off of Melrose, puts on what they call Law Days, where they provide basic civics, basic governance. This is how it works. This is what this all means, because the judiciary is a co-equal third branch of government, but strangely enough, not a lot of people know about things like that.
Yeah,
So,
you're darn right.
Yeah. I will share that with everyone who might be interested, because I'm part of that organization too. And if there's one thing Seroptimists pride ourselves on, is collaboration. And we've really enjoyed you coming here today, meeting with us, and we are so happy to give you the support. So thank you again.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.